Now to the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Haiti. The U.S. imposed sanctions on two Haitian politicians accused of engaging in international drug trafficking. That move comes as the nation struggles with severe political turmoil, gang violence, food shortages, and a cholera outbreak. Natalie Kitroeff recently traveled to Haiti to get a first-hand look at the situation there and joins us now to discuss what's taking place. She's the New York Times bureau chief for Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. Thanks for being with us today, Natalie. Last week, we understand at least 12 people were killed by organized gangs in Haiti. Homes burned down near the capital, Port-au-Prince. Can the country's own police force control what's happening? And if not, what national entity might be able to help?
So the Haitian National Police is outgunned, they're underpaid, they're often trying their best, but these criminal groups in Haiti, they're not petty criminals. These armed groups, these gangs, they are powerful entities. They're armed with weapons of war. They operate like militias. And as you saw last week, they move in on territory, on small towns, with a brutality that is hard to imagine. And so the police tries, but often they're beaten by people and criminals that are better organized and have better weapons than them.
How are Haitians surviving? I'm seeing reports that suggest that 60% of the capital is being controlled by various gangs. So I don't even know how you get around. I'm seeing reports that suggest that kidnappings have become a main source of income for some of these gangs. Wow. And that rape is a regular occurrence. What is day-to-day life like?
It's very difficult to survive in Haiti right now for almost everyone. Obviously, if you're wealthy, there's a measure of protection that comes with that. You see the wealthy driving around in armored vehicles with security details at times. But for those who don't have that protection, you're risking your life sometimes just by walking on the streets. Yes, rape has become common. And yes, it has become very difficult to survive. You saw last month, the United Nations reported that for the first time in Haiti, catastrophic levels of hunger were registered. That means that thousands are facing famine-like conditions. So the answer to how people are surviving is that they're struggling just to stay alive, just to eat. I talk to people who are drinking rainwater, who are boiling leaves, just to give something to their family.
And so what now then? Because the U.S. implemented sanctions against two Haitian senators. There was that assassination attempt last year, other nations' fingerprints all over that. What do you make of these penalties? And considering the mess and the country's inability to get things together, might there be an international option for, I don't know, a U.S. force or another entity to help stabilize the place?
The Haitian government has asked for armed intervention from abroad, and the U.S. government, the Biden administration, increasingly believes that that would be necessary to quell the chaos. But the request has been met by a lot of criticism in a country that has a long history of failed foreign intervention, of brutal foreign intervention. And so it's unclear. The Biden administration does not want to send U.S. troops. And so the administration is trying to persuade another country to lead such a force. That hasn't come together yet. And so in the absence of boots on the ground, what the US and Canada have tried to do is impose financial penalties on those who they believe, who they have evidence, they say, have ties to these gangs. These gangs operate in part because of their connection to the powerful. And so the US and Canada, they're trying to squeeze those who they believe are giving these gangs life.
Well, you follow the money, right? But Natalie, you said that the Haitian government has requested some sort of military intervention. Considering what it looks like we're seeing is a failing state. Yeah. I don't know if you call it a failed state, but it's certainly failing. Does the Haitian government reflect the desires of the people? Do the people want to see military intervention from outside?
Well, that's a really good question, and this request is extremely contentious. This country is deeply scarred by many foreign interventions from abroad in the past. The most recent one by UN peacekeepers, there was some success in subduing the gangs in part of the capital, but it also brought a cholera outbreak that killed nearly 10,000 people, and there was widespread sexual violence accused. And so there's a lot of baggage that comes with foreign intervention in Haiti. That being said, when I was there and I spoke with the victims of this violence, the people who are living in its grips, families who have children who are recovering from gunshot wounds, mothers, wives who saw their husbands killed in front of them, they want help and they want it now. And so there is a level of desperation on the streets in Haiti where people are willing to accept help as soon as possible.
And it's jarring because you got more than 11 million people who just want everything you've laid out: peace, stability, health, prosperity. And the cholera outbreak you've been mentioning doesn't seem to be improving at all. What's the latest there? I know you've mentioned it and touched on it a few times.
Now there's more than 12,000 cases. This is increasing and spreading rapidly, and part of the reason is the gang violence. Cholera is an eminently treatable disease. You die from dehydration. You're treated with rehydration, but you have to get to people quickly. You need to get them rehydrated quickly. And it's really difficult to do that when people are living in territory that is completely controlled by gangs. When leaving that area or entering it can mean risking your lives. And so the health authorities in Haiti and aid groups are working as fast and as hard as they can to treat this disease. But it becomes lethal when you can't reach people, especially children.
Natalie, before I let you go, I said that I don't know what we're looking at if we're looking at a failing state. And so I want to sort of clarify, though, and you know better than me, this sort of violence that we're seeing, these gangs sort of running parts of cities, is this primarily in like the big cities? I mean, how is life in kind of the more rural areas? I'm just wondering if this level of violence is concentrated.
Yeah, Port-au-Prince is certainly the center of this violence. And, you have gangs controlling, that's 60% of the capital. They operate, by the way, in 90% of the capital. And so Port-au-Prince, which is the heart of business and a lot of economic activity, huge population, that's where you see this gang violence really raging. That's not to say it doesn't have an impact elsewhere. And what happens in Port-au-Prince, where they're the major ports in the country, where the major logistic corridors, where you get goods in and out, fuel, food, anything you can imagine to keep a country running, that's where this violence is concentrated. It's spreading, though, and it's spreading further and further outside the heart of the capital. And so if this doesn't get under control, and there's no sign for now that it is, you could see this happen at this level, at this intensity, in many more places across Haiti.
Wow. Natalie Kitroeff, thank you very much. Appreciate your insight.